You don't get paid for this.
Again, not much of a professional anything.
This is the biggest bargain on the face of the planet right here. Coming to you from the pop-up studios of Beer to Whiskey on the taproom floor of Greenville Beer Exchange, or GBX as we sometimes refer to it, on South Lawrence Street in glorious downtown Greenville, South Carolina. I'm Russ Heaps, and welcome to this episode of It's Just Bourbon. And I'm here with my favorite booze drinking buddy, Big John.
Former co-host.
Yeah, I'm shopping around for a new sidekick. But
Hi.
my favorite drinking buddy, Big John Richards, and we are going to talk about and sip and smell and all that stuff a little bit about Cafe Ole Bourbon, Kentucky Straight Bourbon, which comes out of my buddy's boutique distillery outside of Lexington, Glenns Creek. And it is on McCracken Pike, which is where all the big boys are. It's at the very end of it. It was the original Old Crow brewery. My buddy David Meyer bought it and is now producing some wonderful, wonderful stuff out of it. Cafe Ole is their Glenns Creek bread and butter bourbon is called we're pretty deep into today.
Is that OCD?
OCD.
We've done OCD. I was going to say, we've done OCD
yes.
before.
We've done OCD, and we did OCD Premium.
Okay, that's...
But it's OCD number 5. Number 5 referring to the still where they pulled out some yeast that Old Crow used, and they're now also using it for the stuff that they're producing. This is the same mash bill as OCD number 5, and don't ask me what that is because nobody knows. The only thing we know is that the barley that goes into it has been double toasted or something. So it is most of their stuff, I can't say all because I'm not sure, most of their stuff is single barrel. Because what they do is, if it's straight Kentucky bourbon, you've got to age it for at least 2 years. But what they do is they don't worry so much about aging as they do about tasting. I would love to be on the tasting team there.
Right.
Because they taste all this stuff every day, apparently. And as soon as they feel that something is at the level that they want it, that's when they bottle it. So Cafe Ole is, I think, 2 or 3 years. Do I have that on here?
I don't think so.
No. So we're not exact. 37 months. Actually, it's written in pen on the back of it. Because it's, David, I don't know if you can see it, but he autographed.
See that neon thing for sure.
He autographed this for me. I bought this. This is one of the things you can only buy at the distillery. But on the back of it is in pen is 37 months. So this was 37 months. So I think we ought to.
I think we should.
We ought to give it a shot. It's 103 proof, 51.5% ABV, and the price is around $65.
You reminded me of, I was sitting in a brewery. I know, I understand.
John
I've got
overpours these things.
I got a little out of hand on the first pour today.
He did. I've got a half a gallon of the last thing we did sitting over on the.
So I was in a brewery, and I got to sit in there.
What are the chances?
That was weird. But I got to sit in on their lab as they did a tasting, and it was super cool and fun. And then they just were like, okay, well, finish your drinks, and if there's something else you want to taste, let us know, whatever. And I was like, great. And so there's two guys sitting there and had a carboy, the big glass bottle that you ferment in, sitting behind them. And I said, what's in that? And it's fermenting something. And they said, oh, it's a batch of this particular beer. But we're using Orval yeast in it. And I went, whoa, that's awesome. Where'd you guys get Orval yeast? And they went, a bottle of Orval. I was like, oh,
Who would have thunk?
good work, guys. You reminded me of that when you said they scraped a bunch of yeast out of one of the distillers.
Well, they
and
did.
created
They
their
went
thing.
down, they
Yeah,
found it.
Right, absolutely.
They found
And that's
it.
how we've gotten some of the approximations of ancient, cheers,
Text them slowly.
ancient beers and stuff is getting DNA samples out of ancient unearthed vessels. Ooh, that's a big nose.
It's a big
Oh goodness, that's a big nose.
it's a big bourbon.
Yeah, it's one of three. So I mean, it's up there.
But it's
It's
still
not seriously overproofed, but it's up there.
No, but it's Cafe Ole, but you can actually taste coffee in it.
Yeah. I don't think I'm smelling coffee. I think I'm smelling raspberries. I mean, on top of, there's the traditional things that I'm smelling, like the bread and the caramel and the toffee and some of that stuff that's in there. And I for some reason, when I talk flavors, I never talk about the biggest, most aggressive flavor first. I'm always trying to dive into the tiny flavors. I don't know why.
Well, that's why you're making the big bucks here, is because I expect you to do that.
For those of you commenting and trying to get in and be Russ's new sidekick, be aware.
It's the check is in the mail. It's that kind of thing. So
Indeed. Whoa, no, that's spicy as it can be. Oh my goodness. So that's almost smoky to me. There's some coffee in there for sure. I mean, there's no chance of me mistaking this for a mezcal, but this almost has a level of smoke that I would say belongs in a mezcal.
I know a guy, it's our buddy Dan's son-in-law, who is a radiologist down in Charleston, who Dan gave a bottle of this to, who thinks this is the best bourbon that's ever been made, and he's got a bunch of his doctor buddies that think the same thing. And I have to say, it is it's really unique.
Yeah, it is. It is. There's more stuff going on around the edges because I'm smelling a little more pie crust and a little more cinnamon. But it smells almost like when you're making those little Pillsbury daggone cinnamon rolls and you get the icing out of the cup and put it on there and you can smell the icing melting on a cinnamon roll. That's what I'm smelling out of this thing.
I'm getting on the palate. I'm getting big butterscotch.
I haven't even taken a sip since I put water in mine, but yeah, I mean this is a whiskey tasting, Russ. We're not going to, Mr. Thernpro is going to have to go sit in the corner.
This is the first set of episodes that I've actually put a timer on the table, trying to shorten these. And for the most part,
I think it
it's
even
worked.
worked on the one that went over 20 minutes.
Yeah, because we could have been here another half hour.
Yeah. We could have been as long as the actual movie.
Yeah. We've started doing movie reviews, by the way.
It's a teaser. That's what we call a teaser.
Old Men and Old Movies is what it's. OM squared is what it is.
Yeah. I'll let you guess how we came up with that one. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, it definitely turns into more butterscotch, but there's still a lot of that toffee in there, and the spice has calmed down a bunch. Like
Yeah.
it's not as hot as it was before I put
That
those
is
couple of drops in there. That's right on for me.
That's a seriously good bourbon.
Yeah, oh, that's crazy. There's still some, and the smoke is back down too. I was going to say there's still some of that smoky and roasty coffee thing that was there so big when it was full, and now that it's just got that little bit of water in there, it's back down. That's much more well balanced with that little bit of water in there. And apparently, I haven't brought this up in a while. Apparently, I am not a professional whiskey taster, but that's a legitimate tactic. You're supposed to knock the edge off and get it down to what they call a tasting strength, which has been alleged to me to be around 33% is where they want to taste it. Again, I'm not a professional whiskey taster. I'm hardly a professional anything.
Kind of a dick.
Well, I don't get paid for that.
You don't get paid for this.
Again, not much of a professional anything.
This is the biggest bargain on the face of the planet right here.
There's something in here. It's reminding me of a particular kind of cookie, and maybe a particular brand of cookie, and I can't place what it is. First, I thought it was ice cream, and it's definitely not that. I think it's a cookie, and probably something that I've had recently. Oh,
Reese. Reese's.
well, you want to know what's prescient about that? Because I have some Reese's dipped animal crackers in my house right now that are spectacular, and that might be exactly what it is. That might be exactly what it is, Russ. In fact, I'm going to tell you that's what it is.
That is excellent.
So if you want to know what this whiskey tastes like, get some animal crackers and dip them in Reese's peanut butter. Yeah, fun. Good times.
Anything else?
Mr. Thornpro has electrocuted me twice.
So, Glenns Creek, Lexington, Kentucky. If you're on the Bourbon Trail, you're doing yourself a disservice. It's not part of because that's kind of a marketing thing. Buffalo Trace is right down the road from all this stuff, and it's not on the Bourbon Trail. It doesn't participate, but Bourbon Trail is kind of a marketing thing. But you're right there where Glenns Creek is. Look it up. Go find it. It's on McCracken Pike. With that, sir.
Go get them, boys.
So damn lucky. See you next time.
Set the tone.